absolute brutal news for ARPGs this week. Path of Exile 1, Diablo 4, each are getting torched. GGG released a video a few hours ago. Since the release of Path of Exile 2 in early access, our players have been asking about the future of Path of Exile 1 and the timelines for its next expansion. In this video, game director Jonathan Rogers addresses the situation, and the situation is bad. Just as a refresher, the latest leak in Path of Exile 1, Settlers of Kelgar, is out since July the 26th. And usually after 2 months, you're probably done with the content, and it's been, well, 6 and beyond, which means everyone was hoping for good news, but it's bad.
Let's talk about POE 1. Now, when we announced POE 2, we promised that we would continue to create POE 1 expansions, and we do intend to keep that promise, but it's certainly been a lot harder to deliver on it than what we expected. Now, the trouble really started after Settlers of Kelgar in July last year. The ideal time to have released 326 would have been late October, before the originally scheduled release of POE 2's early access.
And we know how all that went. POE 2 got delayed and is in an okay state with quite some things missing.
We just didn't think we could do it. It was too close to the huge circus that was the organization around POE 2's launch. But we also didn't want to immediately launch it right after POE 2 either, so that kind of ruled out December. So then we're thinking, okay, we can't really have a launch in January due to Christmas, so we're really going to have to do it in February. And this wasn't great. It would mean 7 months with no leagues. But we really didn't think it was possible to do it any earlier than that.
Problem also being that you now have a brand new game. You got POE 2. POE 2 is heavily in need of patches, armor needs to be fixed, there are problems in the end game. Simple put, you don't have the resources. I know a lot of Path of Exile 1 players were hoping their game to get all the support, but it's on less than life support right now.
And we didn't really announce this exactly, but it was certainly something that we had said to quite a few people over time, so the community became generally aware that that was our plan. The issue is this. POE 2's endgame needed a lot of work. Having the guys on the POE 1 team help out for 3 months on POE 2, given that 326 was 7 months away, seemed like a no-brainer, and man did POE 2 need it. The problem is we got to the middle of October, and POE 2's launch was imminent, and I'll tell you what, taking people off POE 2 at that point was just impossible. The endgame was not in a shippable state. But you know what? We could still do it. If the POE 1 team just kept helping until POE 2 shipped in late November, we could still do it. Maybe the scope would need to decrease a little bit, but mid-February was still possible. We just needed to ship this damn game first, get it out of the way. We literally couldn't think about anything else until it was done, but we still had time. The problem is, we were fooling ourselves. POE 2 was delayed 3 weeks, making the problem even worse. And then after the game was released, well, of course we had to immediately deal with all the problems. How could we think about making a POE 1 expansion when we still have hundreds of thousands of people who are having bad experiences in POE 2?
Not only that, how can you make a new POE 1 expansion when you have like 500,000 players playing your new game, and 500,000 players have never played POE 1? I know this hurts for POE 1 players, but the reality is you have way more pressing demands than working on the old game, as the new game is going to be the future of your company. Path of Exile 1 is what built you, sure, but Path of Exile 2 is what's going to carry you into the future. As hurtful as that is for the old-timers.
Crashes, there are severe in-game balance problems. How could I justify taking some of the most experienced developers we have off POE 2 when it's on fire? Now, after the Christmas break, we had to really admit something to ourselves. The most urgent priority was getting POE 2 to a point where it didn't have major issues. And it's hard to even think about what POE 1 needs when POE 2 has really obvious problems that need fixing. We needed to get it to the point of stability and balance, and to fix the most severe deficiencies that POE 2 has before we can take our eyes off it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we can't really work on POE 1 326 until POE 2 0.2.0 has shipped. And then being honest, we probably need to support that for a couple of weeks after that as well. Now in the meantime, we are going to get a bunch of pre-production done on 326 with whatever people who are not needed to fix issues with POE 2. And once 0.2.0 is sorted, I promise we will devote as many resources as are needed from our company to get 326 done as soon as possible. Unfortunately,
That's a nice promise. The problem is in itself that we don't even have a date for the next POE 2 patch. So we don't have a date on that. So we don't even know when they're going to start then having more time for PoE 1. So yeah, I believe that's looking more like 9 to 10 months without a new league.
I just can't promise a date right now. Now, I'm really sorry for how this went down. Honestly, I should have predicted the fact that taking the PoE 1 team off PoE 1 would lead to this outcome. And I probably should have resisted doing it. But at every stage, I just kept thinking, we still have time, and then we didn't have time anymore. Now, we still have a lot to learn about how to run 2 games simultaneously. We were overconfident. We still need to work out how to structure our studio to make this possible. But we do have a solid plan for what we want to do with 326. Obviously, I can't talk about it yet, but I'm hoping you guys are going to love it. I really want to thank you guys for all your support over the years. You guys do deserve better than this, and we will get 326 out as fast as we can.
Problem I mainly see with this is you cannot do this for a long time. No matter how you struggle your company, Jonathan, because this is just, again, fooling yourself. You need to focus on the future. You need to focus on PoE 2. And I'm not saying that as someone who wants to see PoE 1 to die, but you cannot feasibly keep it alive with fresh new ideas, because you need the fresh new ideas for PoE 2 leagues, right? It's not like that only PoE 1 has to get amazing, innovative, cool new content. The same goes for PoE 2. Because I don't want just rehashed PoE 1 leagues, obviously. I don't want to be like, oh, I saw that last month in PoE 1. I want new, amazing PoE 2 stuff. And that's probably the most damning part about these news. Because this shows they're struggling with making it work. So maybe 326 might be the last league that PoE 1 is going to get for the foreseeable future. Now, what's with the other ARPG? What happened to Diablo 4? And that's a sad one, to be honest. Mr. Adam Jackson, AZ Jackson, you might know him. He's been on the Campfire Chats, Elite Class Design. What a long, strange trip it's been. After 15 years at Blizzard, it's finally time to say goodbye. My main question being here a little bit, it's worded like it's time to say goodbye, but did he say goodbye or did he get goodbyed? We currently have Season 7 running in Diablo 4, and it's an okay-ish season with shallow content. It's not that much. I've been enjoying it for 50 hours so far, probably up to 60. And now the lead class design guy is letting get go, is going himself. Is the team falling apart? Did the funding get cut? Is he being replaced, or is just simply there now one person less? After it not looking that good for Diablo. This is a very unfortunate and bad look. And that comes with harsh thoughts of the season itself, because right now the whole Witchcraft season is slated to run until the 15th of April. Let's check. We have the end of January right now. So we get another 30, 60, 75 days without a new season. And now think about how Path of Exile players feel with like 10 months of no season up and coming. 75 days. I played 50 hours already. Even if you're a casual player and you get 60 hours out of this season, which I doubt, it's more looking like 30 to 40. But let's say you would get 60 and you play 2 to 3 hours per day. That's going to be 30 days. That's like another 45 days without anything Diablo-like. I mean, sure, we're getting the Celestial Fortune Lunar Awakening, which is a recycled event. Yes, this is nothing new. We talked about recycling content not being that good. Shrines are giving you bonus XP. You get a new Ancestral Favor journey with skins happening that might have you lock in and play for the skins, which is at least something and better than nothing. But I do believe what both ARPGs need right now the most would be any kind of sensible roadmap for the year. And may it be a very rough one. Like, we got patch 0.2 coming into 3.26 for Path of Exile with the new content release in Q2, Q3. Because right now, when are the new classes coming? When is the campaign going further? And the same goes for Diablo, if we're honest, because I want to know, are we getting a new expansion this year? Is there a new class coming? Is it just more seasons? What's the grand vision for Diablo to come? Because right now we're a bit treading in the water, obviously waiting for new seasons, but you really have no clue what direction the game is heading into and what we can expect in the future. Is there more reworks coming? We knew that Season 7 is going to be the rework classes season. And Season 6 is going to be Vessel of Hatred. What's Season 8, 9? Like, what are you working on? Please give us something. Give us a little stick that we at least know what to expect. How are you feeling about all of this? Path of Exile 1 being dead. Path of Exile 2 struggling to make it work pretty much. And Diablo not in the dumpster, but also suffering from team members being lost. Now on positive notes though, if you're looking for an absolutely amazing PoE 2 starter, we got you covered. Or rather, one of the best builds in Diablo 4 right now. Enjoy and have a fantastic good day.